Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer! Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things.
All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here.
Jody there.
And we are excited for another travel-ish video reaction. We are checking out what, Jody?
10 places to visit in the UK. And I am a little panicked because I think I have changed our schedule for the UK like 20 times because we just can't see everything we want to see. And it's just killing me. And now we're reacting to this and I know I'm going to like change everything
And
again.
she never panics.
Never.
This is from a channel we reacted to a few videos before checking out the channel. We looked at places in Germany, places in France. This is from Ryan Shirley. Thank you so much, Ryan Shirley. If you're watching this, for providing this content, we're going to go ahead and check this out. Maybe get some ideas. Who knows? If you like what you see in our reaction today, please don't forget to
like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be aware of our next uploaded videos.
Yes, indeedy. All right, here we...
I'm good. I'm just...
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Shirley, and I spent the last few years exploring the United Kingdom, and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my UK top 10.
The last few years. Has he lived there for a couple years?
That's a cool
The
shot.
United Kingdom is made up of the countries of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. If you want to go back in time and feel like you're in a fairy tale or a Harry Potter film, the UK is the place for you. It's easy to see why so many myths and legends were born here. It's one of the world's most enchanting places. Alright, so for our first location, we're going to go visit possibly the most iconic city in the world, London. I've traveled more to London than any other international destination. I have to say it's my favorite city in the world, and I just keep coming back. Everything from the double-decker buses to the energy of Piccadilly.
So we're going to be in the UK and actually going to go to Paris, but for a day or two. We're going to be in the UK for about 2 weeks. And there's so many places she wants to see. She's a huge Jane Austen fan, and a lot of historical places she wants to go to. And London's like a place where she wants to make a pit stop to. So this is going to be killing her right now. And we know we're crazy because all the tourists go to London. You can probably spend a whole month in London checking things out. We're crazy.
Tell us, if we're just in London for a few hours, what is like the places we have to check out for those couple hours?
And keep in mind, we don't drink at all. No. I almost said we're not big drinkers. We don't drink at all.
We don't drink at all.
So that's not going to interest us at all.
No pubs.
Piccadilly Circus makes the city feel so alive. There's just so many places to see. You can check out the iconic Big Ben and walk across the ridge to see the Palace of Westminster. There's the Tower Bridge, which is possibly the most famous bridge in all of London. You can go see the Stoic Guards at Buckingham Palace or take a ride on the London Eye. If you haven't already been to London, I'd highly recommend visiting when you can. It's hard to beat the London atmosphere. There's no city like it in the world. Alright, so after exploring London, we're going to make the 2-hour drive over to Stonehenge. Located in Wiltshire, England, lies one of the most famous man-made rock structures in the world. There's a lot of mysteries.
As cool as that is, like I hear they fenced it all off and you have to see it from like feet back. So like I took that off of our list and I wanted to see the standing stones of the Isle of Lewis, but then I took that out in Scotland because like that's a whole like extra ferry trip. That's the next time. I really want to see standing stones, but I need them like close.
England lies one of the most famous man-made rock structures in the world. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Stonehenge, like what was its purpose and how was it made. Archaeologists believe it was constructed back between 3000 to 2000 BC. Stonehenge consists of a ring of rocks, each being around 13 feet high and weighing nearly 25 tons each. It's unclear what the exact purpose of Stonehenge was. It's believed that it was used as an astronomical observatory or a religious site. Either way, it sure makes you stop and think how people thousands of years ago were able to construct this. Alright, so after Stonehenge, we're going to head on over to the Jurassic Coast. While you won't find any dinosaurs here, you might find some fossils on the beach. The Jurassic Coast is England's only natural World Heritage Site, and it's become popular with its white cliffs and picturesque beaches that are full of fossils formed over 65 million years ago. One of the most famous spots on the Jurassic Coast is Door. It's this limestone arch that goes straight into the ocean. There's a great beach there, and I just can't think of a better place to spend during the hot English summers. One of my favorite spots on the Jurassic Coast is Old Harry's Rocks. Now, special thanks to my friend David Rule for providing this footage. He has an awesome Instagram and YouTube that I'll provide in the description below. I remember the first time I saw his picture of this place, and I was just baffled by the scenery there. The Old Harry Rocks are these sea stacks that are made completely out of chalk that mark the end of the Jurassic Coast. In World War II, the stacks were used as target practice for pilots, so that's kind of crazy. I just love the combination of the green meadows with the white cliffs and the blue ocean. I mean, it's just hard to beat that scenery. Alright, so after the Jurassic Coast, we're gonna head up north to visit the country of Wales. Now, Wales is located in the southwest part of Great Britain. It's famous for its mountainous national parks, picturesque coastline, and distinct Welsh language. One of the most scenic places in Wales is the Snowdonia National Park. It's a region in northwest Wales that is known for its mountains and lakes. The highest peak in Wales, Mount Snowdon, is located in the park with an elevation of 10,085 meters. You can hike on up there, or you can take the Snowdon Mountain Railway to the top. If you're lucky, you might be able to see Ireland across the sea. Alright, so after Wales, we're going to head to the Isle of Man. Now, located in the Irish Sea, right between England and Ireland, lies a rugged island known for its rural landscapes and medieval castles. While it's technically not part of the United Kingdom, it has status of crown dependency, and the UK is responsible for its defense and external relations. The Isle of Man has had an interesting history. Humans have lived on it since 6500 BC, and in the 19th century it was ruled by Norway, but in 1266 the island became part of Scotland, and now it is a self-governing isle. An interesting place on the Isle of Man is Peel Castle. It was constructed by Vikings in the 11th century and just sits right on the ocean. I mean, it's a pretty cool castle if you ask me. Alright, so after the Isle of Man, we're going to head across the sea to visit Northern Ireland. Now, Ireland is full of just beautiful scenery, dramatic coastal cliffs, and countless castles. Back in 1921, Ireland was split into Northern and Southern Ireland as a result of the Government of Ireland Act of 1920. While Southern Ireland became a free Irish state, Northern...
It's interesting how most of these photos, besides that last one, it's all looking like it's overcast there in Ireland, in Northern Ireland. Is that like a thing? Like, is it always overcast there? Because it seems like that's how it is in the movies. How is it for that or that? Like,
Ireland,
do they ever see the sun, for crying out loud?
Ireland, England, Scotland, it always rains. It could
all of UK is just overcast all the time?
It could be sunny, and then 10 minutes later you have like this huge rainstorm.
Oh, that sounds like Florida.
Like, you can literally like just be in a rainstorm and out of a rainstorm that fast. Like, but yes. It's constantly raining, and that's why everybody goes in the summer, because it's like the nice months.
I'm not trying to be rude, but like, isn't that kind of like depressing? Like, that's what they say, like in Seattle where it rains all the time. Like, it's a lot of people are sad over there. Like, it's beautiful, especially for pictures. But all the other pictures we saw of the UK so far is like sunlight, all this kind of stuff, and like almost every one of these video things right here is overcast.
Northern Ireland remained within the United Kingdom. The capital of Northern Ireland is the city of Belfast, which is the birthplace of the Titanic ship. One of the most iconic places in Northern Ireland is the Dark Hedges. It's this road lined with beech trees planted in the 18th century. It was used as a filming location for the Game of Thrones. On the northern coast, you can check out the Carrick Already rope bridge or see the basalt columns at the Giant's Causeway. Yeah, and there's just so much history and beauty in Ireland, and it just makes me want to go there and explore. Alright, so for our next location, we're going to head to Scotland to visit the Isle of Skye. This is probably my all-time favorite place in the UK.
Yeah,
you literally feel like you're in a fairy tale when you visit
nuts.
there. I was lucky enough to go to the Isle of Skye last summer, and it's about a 5-hour drive from Edinburgh. One of the most impressive places in the Isle of Skye is the Old Man of Store. It's one of my all-time favorite rock formations. I felt like I was on the set of Game of Thrones when I was there. Now, to get to the Old Man of Store, it's about a 4-kilometer hike. You walk through some conservation gates and you'll reach the famous rock pinnacles. I went for sunrise and sunset, and both occasions were breathtaking. When I was there was just like crows flying around the rock, and there were some sheep running around. I mean, it was just a magical place. So the legend of the Old Man of Store is supposedly a giant lived there a long time ago, and when he was buried, his thumb was left sticking out of the ground. When you go there, it's easy to see why it's one of the world's most iconic rock formations. It's one of my all-time favorite places, and I recommend everyone to see it at least once in their life. Just 2 minutes away from the Old Man of Store, there is a breathtaking waterfall called Meat Falls.
Meat Falls.
Cascades down to the ocean. There's a nice viewpoint where you can look at the waterfall. The surrounding sea cliffs in the area are also stunning. One of the most famous is Kilt Rock, which are right by Meat Falls. I mean, it's just such a cool area. There aren't many waterfalls that fall straight into the ocean. If you're looking to find some ferries, you may want to check out the ferry pools. There are these picturesque blue pools that lie at the base of the black colons. When I was there were so many midges, I didn't dare get close to water, so make sure you bring some bug spray. If you want to do a beautiful hike, I'd also recommend visiting the Korang. It's one of the most beautiful areas in the Isle of Skye. You feel like you're walking on a giant golf
That's
course.
funny because I've heard so many people say like you have to go to the fairy pools, you have to go to the fairy pools, but nobody once
Mention the
has
bugs.
mentioned the bugs.
I wonder if he went during a certain time of the year where they were more prevalent.
Or he's just being honest, because I remember everybody saying you have to go see Salt Lake, you have to go see Salt Lake in Utah, and when the kids and I went, it was covered in bugs, like it was so much.
One of the most beautiful areas in the Isle of Skye. You feel like you're walking on a giant golf course. I found this crazy vantage point
so
to get
cool
a
that
good
you climbed
360
up
view
there.
of the whole area. Alright, so after the Isle of Skye, we're going to head over to the nearby Eileen Donan Castle. If you're driving to the Isle of Skye, you will drive right by this. It's one of my favorite castles in the UK. Situated on a small tidal island at the point where the three great sea locks meet. The castle was built in the 13th century. I'm so mad at myself, I didn't visit the castle when I was there. I wasn't able to check it out. That's one of my biggest regrets of when I visited the UK, so don't make the same mistake I made. Alright, so after castle, we're going to head over to one of Scotland's most iconic locations, the Glenfinnan Viaduct. It's located at the top of Loch Shiel in the West Highlands of Scotland. It was completed around 1898. This may look familiar because it was featured in the Harry Potter films. When I was there, I wanted to get close to the bridge, so I walked underneath it. I was just shook by how big it actually was. After I hiked to the top to get a good vantage point so I could see the famous train go across the viaduct. Just really reminds you of those Harry Potter movies. Alright, so after Glenfinnan, we're going to head over to Edinburgh. Now, if you want to go back in time, Edinburgh is a must. It's where J.K. Rowling wrote her Harry Potter novels. When I started traveling, this was one of the first cities I visited. It's a medieval old town with intricate neoclassical buildings, cobblestone streets, and beautiful gardens. The iconic Edinburgh Castle overlooks the city and is home to Scotland's crown jewels. When I was there, I didn't go into the castle because I was being too cheap, but one of my favorite places was Calton Hill. It offers a beautiful view of the whole entire city. While we're still in Edinburgh, we're going to head over to Arthur's Seat. Now, Arthur's Seat is located in Holyrood Park, and it's a short walk from Edinburgh Centre. Arthur's Seat is an extinct volcano with an elevation of 823 feet. When I was there, I wanted to get as high as I could so I could see all of Edinburgh. I made a hike up and I reached the top, and it was just so windy when I was there, nearly blew me over. After I hiked to the top, I had a good time just hiking around Holyrood Park and enjoying the views of one of UK's most iconic cities. Alright, well that is it for my United Kingdom top 10. The UK is just such a unique region in the world, and I hope all can witness its beauty and history. What was your favorite place in the video? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to support the channel, considering becoming a patron, and where you get perks such as free travel guides and stock footage, you can find me on Instagram at
I want to show some of that so we can show him some support. If you like his channel, definitely consider supporting him on Patreon. It's interesting. I kind of made the connection this time that you see him, he's talking a lot about hiking, and you see him on top of those rocks, and I'm guessing he's controlling his drone as he's getting those shots or whatever. But it's interesting how his top 10 places are actual nature and hiking places and mountains. And he had mentioned some cities, but you'd think like other videos would be like, oh, you got to eat here, or you got to go shopping here, or you got to go to this city right here. It's kind of cool. I mean, he looks so young. Like, how was he able to get into this travel thing? Maybe, who knows? Maybe his family traveled a lot when he was younger, and it kind of created that bug. I'm not sure. I don't want to get too focused on him, but I did think that was interesting that he focuses on like the place or whatever. It's almost like it's a spiritual thing for him, like connecting with the world and just walking around and exploring.
Well, I expected the nature because that is a lot of what to see there, but I was thinking maybe he had more castles or different things.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking like the fairy pools,
and the UK is
the castles, and that's all there is. Yeah.
There's so much there from what you hear. Like it's just such a popular place to go visit, and I love the places that he showed us, but I was surprised by a lot of them. Yeah, and
it's interesting because like I think a lot of Americans go to see the castles because we don't have a single castle here unless you count the Disneyland castle and castle. So we don't have a single castle. But it was interesting. Like some of the places he showed, I was like, yeah, it's really nice, and I'm okay skipping. Like, I hope you don't mind, but we are not seeing that train ride. We're passing.
It was a cool shot.
It was cool. We're passing.
Love seeing that in the Harry Potter movies, but yes, like for our taste, like to make it out there just to see that.
there's so much to see, but you have to imagine like you are traveling. If you're traveling the entire UK, like if we're not even doing Northern Ireland, but if you're doing Scotland all the way down to England and going to Wales, and even like if you go to Land's End, like it's like traveling our country, and to do it in 2 weeks,
Going
it's just
all over the place. Yeah.
It's too much to hit everything. You just can't do it. So you have to kind of pick what's best for this route that you're taking this time, and then go again on what's best for that route. But I'm definitely excited to go. I was hoping that he would show a few more of like the ruined castles, like in Corfe or in Stonehaven or something.
Well, maybe he has just one on England.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
And we're going to be visiting Scotland too, right? And I said
Stonehaven's in Scotland.
a little bit of Paris, like I mentioned, but maybe there's just one. We'll have to see. Let us know. I mean, we're still getting some ideas, kind of ish, about different geographical areas we're going to. Makes it really stressed out.
Let us know for the next visit.
Just let us know what places to visit, regardless, and we'll take a look at it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
Goodbye.